Hi, it's Paul, and today I'm an old man with a Bibury BI-MT-006 multifunction tool. That's a multifunction tool in the type of a sort of pocket carry knife type thing with extra blades in it and plier functions and goodness knows what else, rather than something like the oscillating multi-tool, the Ryobi BI-MT-006, which I've also got, which I'll stick a link to the review up here if that's what you're looking for. If at any time in the video you think I really must buy one of these, there's an Amazon purchase link in the description below. And because of that, the ASA in the UK defines this video as an advert. So, hashtag advert, let's move on. So I got it about probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I kept the box specifically to do this review because it's quite a nice box. And on the back of it, it has an explanation of all the functions, which we'll go through in a minute. So in the box, we have a fabric material pouch with a press stud on it, belt loop on the back, if that's your thing, if you want to carry it on your belt. Inside we have the multi-tool, and in the front we have a little bit holder with 4 double-ended bits, so 8 bits in total. It's quite chunky. In fact, on the back of the packet it tells us it weighs 344 grams. So we will take these convenient scales and we'll see. So the tool on its own comes in at 333. Let's be really accurate about this. If we add the bits on, it comes to 370, 373, 374 with the holder, and 398, call it 400 grams with the case. So where they get the 344 grams from, I don't really know, but it's all around the same weight. So let's put all these to the side for a moment and concentrate on the tool itself. So if I go through the key, we have, as I say, 15 functions. And function number 1 is needle nose pliers. So we open it up, and sure enough, inside we have a set of needle nose pliers. In at number 2, we have combination pliers. Now, there isn't another pair of pliers in it. There's only the one set of pliers. They are actually referring to a second function on the pliers section. So we have the needle nose. Sorry, I should have pointed out on the needle nose. They are not complete needle nose. They've got kind of a blunt end to them. Yeah, they do. I actually used them yesterday for the needle nose function, and they were fine. If you wanted something, if you were trying to pull out an not an O-ring, a circlip or something, then they wouldn't be any good at all. But hey ho. So we have needle nose, we have combination, so we have an extra set of grips, rounded grips in here. Then at number 3 we have end cutting pliers. Again, there isn't another set of pliers, it's these, and in them they have what I would argue is a side cutting function, not an end cut function. But being pedantic, there is a cutter that will cut wire. Haven't used that, can't tell you how good it is. That's it for the outside of it. So let's fold it up and go through the other blade functions. Excuse me. And at number 4 we have a blade, just a standard knife blade. Feels fairly sharp. Yeah, cuts cardboard. Locks in the outside, in the out position. All the outer functions have a locking button that locks them in place. So it looks fully open, which makes it good for actually using. The only thing I would argue is that when you press the button to release it, which is quite a tough press, if you're trying to operate it one-handed, then there might be a tendency to close the blade on your thumb or finger or whatever you're pressing the release button with. So just be mindful of that. Let's be safe out there, kids. So that's the knife blade at number 4. At number 5, we have a hexagon sleeve, and the hexagon sleeve is the only thing that locks in the 90-degree position and the fully open position. So you can use it as a screwdriver or you can use it as a wrench. It makes no mention at this moment of the screwdriver bits, so we'll talk about that further on. At number 6, we have what they refer to as a scale. It isn't what I'd refer to as a scale, it's what I'd refer to as a rule. It's a 75mm rule in increments of 1mm and 10mm, or centimetres. So 7.5 centimetres, 75mm. So it's a rule, not a scale. At number 7, we have a sickle. And again, I find no sickle, but what there is a file. On the other side of this blade is a serrated surface for filing. I rubbed my finger across it when I first got it and thought, oh, that's a bit rubbish. But I actually tried it on something, and it does actually work. I mean, you wouldn't want to do a lot of filing with it, but if you were doing your nails or whatever, maybe it'd get you out of trouble. It has a flat cutting face and it has a single edge cutting face. So that's the scale and the sickle, or the rule and the file. At number 8, we move to the other side of the device and we have a rope cutting blade. The rope cutting blade's got a kind of scalloped serrated blade, and it does feel incredibly sharp. I've not cut anything with it, I haven't cut rope with it, but I've no doubt it would cut rope without any trouble at all. So that's the rope cutting blade. At number 9, we have a bottle opener. The bottle opener has a hook on it, and the hook hooks underneath the bottle cap. The lever arm presses down on the top of the bottle cap, and you just flip the bottle cap off. At number 10, we have a slotted screwdriver, and again at the end of the bottle opener we have a flat bladed screwdriver. I actually used this yesterday to take out a screw. Had a drama with the downstairs toilet in the house and needed to undo the screw, and so grabbed this and it worked perfectly fine. It's also good for sort of levering because it's got quite a thin blade. At number 11, let's just put that away. At number 11, we have an awl. An awl is a pointy, sticky thing. So we have a pointy thing there that you can bore a hole in a piece of wood to start a wood screw or whatever you need to do, or the cardboard box. At number 12, we have a bottle opener. At number 12, we have a can opener. My apologies. Very similar to the bottle opener, the can opener, the hook goes underneath the lip of the can and the blade cuts through the lid of the can. It's very similar to the type of can opener we used to have when I was a kid. We had these lever type can openers that hacked their way through cans. We didn't have the fancy turning ones or electric Culinaire magic can or whatever. So I've no doubt that it works, but I haven't tried it. At number 11, sorry, I shouldn't have put that away. at number 11 is a mini slotted screwdriver. So it's just a smaller version of the one on the end of the bottle opener, smaller end point. At number 14, we have a saw. It hasn't got a set on it, the saw. If you know what a set is, where the teeth point in opposite directions as you go along the length of the blade, what it's actually got is a double grind to it. So the set, if there were one, is towards the middle of the saw. So it's not, the teeth don't stick out the side. I've actually got a folding knife with exactly the same blade setup as this. Blade's probably a little bit longer, maybe 25mm inch or so longer. And it's brilliant for cutting plasterboard, wallboard, whatever you call it, gyprock. You can bore a hole through the plasterboard with it and it hacks away quite nicely. So I've no doubt if I ever need to cut a hole in the plasterboard in this office, then this will come in very handy. It does cut as well. I cut a piece of plastic conduit with it the other day and it worked perfectly fine. And finally, at number 15, we have an 8-in-1 screwdriver. So we're back finally to the hex bit holder, or the hexagon sleeve as they called it, at number 5. And now we can explore the screwdriver bits. So we have 8 functions to the screwdriver bits. We have 3 flat blades, which are a 2.5 flat blade, a 4 flat blade, and a 6 flat blade. I've checked it, they are measured in millimetres, so that's 2.5mm, 4mm, 6mm. We have a Torx bit with a T10 and a T15 Torx bit. And then we have a cross point bit. And it's the cross point bit that I have, not concerns about, but is my one complaint about the whole tool, if you like. The cross point bits are Phillips. There's a Phillips 0, a Phillips 1 and a Phillips 2. And the complaint I have with that is that the rest of it is built around sort of metric functions. It's a metric rule. The flat blades are measured in millimetres. But Phillips is, I think these days, probably more generally used in the US than it is in the UK and Europe. UK and Europe have long been using predominantly Posidrive. Posidrive, certainly there are Phillips screws still in circulation in the UK. You can still buy them. I still come across them. Some of the equipment I have has Phillips screw heads in it. A lot of the stuff that comes in imported, funnily enough, has Phillips heads. But on a day-to-day basis, what we're generally using is Posidrive. So I'd actually like to have seen some Posidrive bits in it. Probably being a bit hypercritical there. And in truth, what I will probably do is throw away the bit holder, get a couple of Posidrive bits and shove them all in the elastic pocket in the front of the case. Other than that, as I say, I've used it a fair bit. There's a few bits that are a little bit loose on it, not great tolerance, but it's way better than I expected it to be. I've got a Rolson one somewhere that's about half the size of this that I paid about half the price for, and the lever arms are made of aluminium, folded aluminium, and they are rubbish. You as soon as pull on them and they start to flex and bend. This is a lot tougher built. So there you have it, the Bibury, or Bibury, whatever, BI-MT-006 multifunction tool. Hope that's been of some use to you. Thanks for hanging on in there if you've made it right the way to the end. Like, share, blah, 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 blah. See you in the next one. Bye.